So let's start. As you have heard yesterday, there are more than 57 million audience in Russia. More than 57 million people, 18 plus, visit internet more than once a month. The penetration is more than 57%, but in major cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, it is more than 60-70%. And those who visit internet online, present on social networking, you can see on this slide the global study, 88% of Russian online population use social networks. In Finland, you have a little bit more social media penetration, 91%, but totally Russian social networking population is even more than the total population of Spain. And this audience is very, very active. Russians spend more than 10 hours in social networks. It's average time spent per users per month. And it's only growing. That's why social networks are on the second place after search engines. You can see ВКонтакте and Одноклассники right after Yandex and Mail.ru projects. As you remember from yesterday's presentations, Russian like to speak Russian. They don't like to speak other languages. That's why Facebook is very popular globally, but it is not as popular in Russia. Russia is one of 7 markets where it is not the leading social network. There should be pictures of social networks, but you can see black squares. Okay, you may guess what social networks were mentioned. We may describe global social network, global social media landscape with this scheme. Here you can see social media for publishing. One black square is a live journal. You can publish in wiki projects. There are image hostings, Google, Picasso, Flickr was mentioned. There are new social networks where you can post only pictures, only images. It's Pinterest. There are social networks when you can post only retro photos from your mobile phone. There are video hostings, there are audio and mobile hostings. There are global social networks like Google+, like Facebook. It is very popular globally, but in Russia there are a lot of analog projects, which are even more popular than global social networks. We have a clone of Facebook. You've heard about ВКонтакте. We have a clone of the new growing social network Pinterest, PinMe. And the CEO of Pinterest, who started just a few months ago, doesn't know yet if he can lead on Russia, because now we have PinMe project, the analog. This is about how often we visit social networks. Monthly reach of ВКонтакте and Одноклассники, these projects are leaders. Russians visit ВКонтакте, 23 million Russians visit ВКонтакте more than once a month. 19 million visit Одноклассники more than once a month. Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook are not as popular. And this is about how many audience of these millions visit these sites more than once a month. Core audience is a ranking. We found the information about weekly audience, and it is a ratio between weekly audience and monthly audience. So ВКонтакте is highly visited. Одноклассники is highly visited, but LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, which are popular globally, have not as active audience in Russia. Perhaps this is because Russians use first Vkontakte, and Facebook and Twitter are used as second social networks. A lot of people have different accounts in different social networks. Now, I want you to tell me how many time per day do you spend in social networks? For example, looking through Facebook newsfeed. How many minutes per day do you spend in social networks? Maybe
an hour.
An hour, okay.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay, so you will not be surprised that in Russia, Vkontakte is Russians spend Vkontakte more than half an hour. Even if we don't count illegal content, if Russians don't see illegal videos or audios, it's quite a huge time. And all this information changed our life and changed marketing. How do we promote our brands? McKinsey have made a survey in 2009 where they described how brands promote online. It differs from AIDA models. There are also 4 stages from awareness, interest, decision, and action. The first stage is about initial consideration set. You know about some brands when you want to purchase something. You're already attacked by advertising, and now you choose from different brands. Then you came to the second stage. You evaluate. You search information about these brands. You're looking for blog posts, you're looking for reviews, and this is quite important. Advertising is not effective on this stage. That's why you must pay attention to reviews, to user-generated content. Then the third stage, the moment of purchase. Consumer purchase brand, and then again social media take part. They write about their experience, they share photos, they write in reviews. They likes brands in social networks. And to control your marketing, to control your social media marketing, you should monitor this information. You should monitor user-generated content. If you don't have this content, you are not, you don't present on the second stage. In other slides, I'll tell you how to create this content if you don't have it yet. After social media take huge part in our life, in marketing, appeared another model which describes how can we work with social media. It describes every strategy, every social media strategy. So first research offered to divide media on 2 parts. Owned media is about media that brand control. It is site, it is your social networks, your platforms, your some online features. Paid media is media that brands pay to use. It's all about advertising. It is SEO, it's paid search, it is display ads, it is ads in social networks. And earned media is about user-generated content. It is blog posts. User controls this media, and to have brand presence on earned media, you should actively work with it. So then we'll talk about paid media. Every social network most social networks has targeted ad. It's that tool that you can use, not paying too much attention to presence in social media. You can target advertising to your site or to your brand accounts. You just need small texts and a picture. It's quite simple. VKontakte has a lot of communities which are not branded. It is there are a lot of audience. Some accounts have more than 1 million people in fans, and you can use these channels. This is our case for our brand. We have found channels with our audience. We needed women 21 plus. So we searched for accounts with this audience. We offered moderators to place posts in their groups. We created posts, we created a contest. We offered users to guess in which quadrant was the prize. And just in one day, we received more than 300 comments. And more than 500 fans joined our community. It costs even less than targeted advertising. So you can use it even not creating social media accounts and create posts which leads to your site, for example. You can see other types of paid media, paid posts, paid contests in communities, which may lead to your site or promote your service, your product. You can integrate to apps in social networks. You can make offers. It's also about app integration. So now we'll talk about earned media, user-generated content. It's about contests in Popular Blogger. You can use Blogger authority to use this media. Why should you use it? Because people in Russia trust comments which people write. For example, this is a TripAdvisor account for Holiday Summer Club. What can you do with it? You can find reviews about the hotel. If you're Holiday Summer Club, you can comment on this review. You can thank the user because he paid his time to leave this post. You can ask your visitors to leave comments here, to leave reviews, because other users which will come here will see it and make decisions to come or not. It's also you can do this even by mails. You don't need to pay too much attention to it. How can you use bloggers? Relative top bloggers, they have more than 1,000 people in fans, 100,000 people in fans. So you can use their power. This is a contest which was offered in Russia about Finland. So the contest was offered. All the bloggers need is to write comments to show they're interested in this contest. And the organizer offered to pay for the trip, and the bloggers need to write a post about the trip. So how can you create the same mechanics? First, you should create the first you should find bloggers. You publish the rules of the content in some popular blogs. You need to promote it. Then you see the bloggers' reviews. You have to pay attention about how they write, how good are they in copywriting, how good they are at making photos, how many fans do they have. If you have a look at how many fans do they have, you can measure your reach to your relevant audience. So even creating contests is a promotion to your service. After this, bloggers which won the contest come to your hotel, for example. Then they start sharing photos. All their audience that trust them receive these posts and receive posts about your product. After that, you can get a report about the trip and to share it, to pay some attention to share it, to post it to travel communities. So you help it to be viral. To find reviews about your product, you can use just Yandex service. You can. It's the most simple service. In our business, we use special products, automized monitoring services, which are also based on Yandex search for blogs. So you find, you create a post which you should find. Then you find the mention of your product or the destination you need. You may create accounts to react on these posts. And for example, to offer to visit your destination or to have a conversation with the user. And after that, you offer them to visit your project or to join your accounts. That's how you can use monitoring and reacting. Owned media. What can you do with your accounts? How can you effectively work with your social media accounts? Social media gains more than 7% of traffic to travel sites. It's a research. There was a research, a global study with 90 travel communities, and LP agency had these results. More than 7% of traffic travel companies have from social media. Those sites which had access, which had this function, user reviews or social sharing, grew more than those who did not. So how can you add social sharing? There are atomized social plugins you can find in Facebook and Twitter and add to your site. You can put TripAdvisor reports, just a link to TripAdvisor reports to a site. You have user reviews on your site. But a lot of sites still do not use this opportunity. This is a good example of social media optimization. You add icons of your social media community. You may add icons to your accounts, or you may find some words. For example, we'll search in Twitter for Holiday Summer Club, and we'll receive comments about Holiday Summer Club or about this conference. If we had a hashtag which users used to post about this conference, we would receive a list of comments about the event. So if you use social media tools, you have more traffic to a site. And now let's talk about Russian social media communities. This is a stat from social backers to Russia. These are top brands by number of funds, all of the brands. And Cheap Trip community, travel community, is on the 4th place. And in the right you can see brands by response rate. Response rate is a rate about how brands effective answering user comments. Users posts on your Facebook wall. If brands answer this, they have a high rating. So because it's just important to answer users which ask you on your Facebook wall. So travel communities are quite effective in Russia in these rankings. Okay, the same square, black squares. Russian travel brands in social media. We analyzed travel companies, their presence in social media. First, we took the rankings of most of the leading travel agencies, 50 travel agencies. 9 out of 50 travel agencies are on social media, just 9. Then we added to this ranking booking services, and we added some hotels, and analyzed these 30 communities. What platforms do they use? Mostly they use Vkontakte, Facebook, and Twitter. You can use this information if you want to create accounts in Russia and to at least to effectively present in Russian social networks. You can use the same social networks as your concurrent as they do. Then we analyzed 60 travel accounts. How often do they post on their Facebook wall, on their Vkontakte wall? And to be effective, they should post at least 3 to 4 posts. It shouldn't be long posts. It could be just photos without comments or some text, but 3 to 4 posts daily was normally for Russian travel brands. Then we analyzed which type of content was the most effective. And of course, if you have 4 minutes, for example, for Facebook, as Russian do, if there is a text or a picture is more effective. It has more likes, more comments, more reposts than link to site or text. So if you if you create content for your social media accounts, you should adapt this content. Maybe if you want to post some news about your company, some news about your great service, just find a picture relevant to this post, and the post will have more likes. It will be more effective. For active presence in social media, you have to work with your content. You have to plan your content for months. You should choose some topics to talk about. You can talk only about your hotel. Okay, you will take pictures of your hotel. You will write about your services, but it is not enough for 3 to 4 posts a day. For example, you may find you may find a destination. You may choose just a topic, traveling to a country, and speak about it. This is how travel brands content plan for a week may look like. It's typical. You may use it. You use polls. you post about unusual event. Unusual event is what can you do in this country? What places can you visit here? Lifestyle pictures or congratulations. It's about holidays. You just tell your fans Happy New Year or happy, I don't know, small holiday. Special offers is about your product. What can you offer to your fans? You can offer your fans some special features just for your Facebook fans. It's a reason to join your community if you have some motivation. Just some pictures you can see in travel communities. It's quite typical. And in Russia we have weekly holiday. Every brand posts some Friday fun. Happy Friday, we see it every Friday in Russian social networks. This was the most viral content from 60,000 posts of travel communities. Maybe you could see this. Why it isn't still spring in Russia? And it was unique content. The brand has found pictures about news from Gismetia in different countries, and there are everywhere women in minis, in quite light clothes, and in Russia we have this man in sweater. So that's why there is no winter in Russia, and it had more than 6,000 reposts. It was so viral and so popular that one of the fans write a comment, okay, then now you're so popular just because of this post. So to promote your accounts, you should find viral content. You should create unique content, and that will help maybe more than ad. One other way, how can you use what can you do with your content? You can create or talk about events you have in your company. This post was from Cheap Trip. They have an event they offered to learn English. They had co-promo with an agency which offered English courses, and just asked their fans to come to this event. It was useful because people who travel should know the language, and promoted with photos from the event. This is again about viral content. Mail.ru project travels. Mail.ru created an infographic about places to visit. For example, where is cheaper to go? With agency or to book tickets by yourself? And what can we see in Finland? It is equal. You can come to Finland equally booking tickets by yourself or with traveling agency. With a travel agency. Infographic is you saw the statistic about the stat about photos that have more likes. This is the same. Information can be viral if it is visually if it is visual. So infographic is also a tool for your social media. You may find some facts that you can put into infographic. What else can you offer to your users? How can you motivate them to join your communities? Anyway, any day, which is leader by response, offered to find the name for these pictures. It is simple because people don't want to spend too much time to create videos. If you create a video contest and you have only maybe 100 funds to account, it won't be popular. You won't have any video. Anyway, any day offered to just write a text about this photo. And for those who win, they offered promo codes for the service. People could just write and have maybe discount for the tickets. How can you improve your content? Again, pictures that are popular in social media. You just ask your fans to write if this is true or not, and you have more comments if you just post a picture. You can put an arrow to likes, and this also will be more effective than just a picture or just text. Ask your users to be more active, to do some actions. Thank your users. Maybe you can create a poll. Maybe every brand create a poll in their content. But this brand offered infographics about the poll. They counted how many fans answered certain question, and paid attention to their fans. And it also was effective. Give more feedback. Anyway, any day, asked which content do users want to see on the wall. Of course, you should count which type of content is more effective, but your fans will be pleasant to see that you're interested to be interesting for them. Involve your users to your product. You saw pictures under your bed, and this hotel offered to choose which picture is better, and then used it into their work. So 10 useful ideas for your content. Post 3 to 4 posts per day. Give your users more pictures. Find viral content. Find unique content. Create unique content. Give more feedback to your fans. Say thank you to your top fans. And use offline events. Find something you can offer just to your fans. Some special offers. Offer promo codes. And improve your content with call to actions. This is about what people do in social media while travel process. How do they act in social? What do they do in social networking while planning their trip? In pre-trip stage, social media take part and affects on awareness. During the trip, people are not as active in social networks. And the most influence social networks has in a traveling process is a post-trip process. They just share photos. So ask your customers, ask your fans to share photos from after they visited your city, they visited your hotel, they used your services. They do it, but if you ask, they will do it a little bit more, maybe. You can offer them something if they create pictures. And again, you will have more mentions in social media. It will improve your second stage of consumer decision process. Just work with your fans and ask them to be more effective in social media. What else can you use in social media platforms? We've heard about growing Google Plus. It's popular in Russia. Some brands have accounts in Google Plus. Foursquare is as popular as a local product. You can offer some benefits to those who check-ins in your hotels most often. Maybe you can offer them a towel with their name. You can find something. Also, brands are using growing social networks, Pinterest and Instagram. I'll tell you about some projects with these social networks. This is a study about global brands. In Russia, we just start working with these networks. There are more than 60,000 users in Pinterest in Russia. Mostly they are women. Also, we have PinMe, where there are also more women than men. PinMe offers more functions because you may create contests and send emails to the whole audience of the project. They then can create pictures about your destination, about your topic. This PinMe and Pinterest, they're quite the same. This example of what brand can do with pictures. You don't need to use much Russian. You don't need to write long Russian texts. You may find pictures about your product, about your topic. Four Seasons Hotel posted pictures about their rooms, about their services, about the events they have. They asked fans to post photos. They had an album where they gathered their fans' pictures. This is a contest from Skyscanner with Instagram project. They offered users to post their Instagram photos to win Samsung Galaxy Note. So people are already use Instagram. People already write about Skyscanner. They just offered motivation to use both of it. So to be effective, you need to pay attention to paid media. Give attention to targeted ads. You may post to popular community. You may work with a popular blogger and use word of mouth to work with the audience. You may create contests on Blogger platform. The simple way to improve your site is to add Facebook like on your site, to add social media widgets on your site, and then you increase the traffic to a site from, in a year, maybe from 7 to 24%. Use with your own media. Work with your site, with your social media accounts. You may plan all the tools with this structure. And this is our clients. And we have social media partners in Russia. You may write to this email to have more information about these projects about this case. Thank you.